What's up, y'all? It's your girl Amanda, and we are back with another episode of Mandy's Entertainment Reviews. You almost had me there for a minute. So, for this episode, we are reviewing season 2 of Running Point. If you guys don't know, Running Point is a TV show about a basketball team in LA. It comes on Netflix. So, season 2 was actually released a couple months ago. I just finished it not too long ago, but it wasn't back in April. So this is starring Kate Hudson. We all know Kate Hudson, the daughter of Goldie Hawn, Justin Trudeau, who was married to Jennifer Aniston, Chet Hanks, who is the son of Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, and also a newcomer for this season was Ray Romano. So if you guys remember the name Ray Romano, Everybody Loves Raymond. He's a stand-up comedian, very famous guy. So for Netflix, obviously, what they do for TV shows is they do the all episodes streaming, so you could sit and watch in one night or 2 nights. Oh, excuse me, 2 nights or however many it takes for you to watch the show. So for the first episode, I really enjoyed it because it was a great way. All the characters were introduced. Well, no, I wouldn't say all. Maybe most of the characters were reintroduced. Their backstories was reintroduced, so it was easier to keep up with what was going to happen to them for season 2. So I give that episode a 5 out of 5. So as you guys know, how do I do my reviews for TV shows for full seasons? I do the characters, my predictions, and what actually happened. So I'm going to start with Cam Gordon. And I think what I did this season was I did it by appearance. So the first character we saw was Cam. And Cam is the older brother who was basically the president of the basketball team. And my predictions for season 2 was going to be that he was going to pretend that he loved working under his sister Isla. It was just going to be one big act, and he was actually still on drugs, and that he was going to manipulate Isla the best way he can. And honestly, I was very close. So for Cam this season, he was still a drug user. He actually had like a accountability partner. I guess that's what it's called, like a drug accountability person. He used Jackie. Jackie is the younger brother. He used Jackie for urine because obviously in the show Jackie does not use drugs. Jackie's like I think he drinks, but he doesn't do drugs. To pay for his rehab, he embezzled money from the team, and they had like an accountant, bring it up. The other family members brought it up, like it was money embezzled or money missing to pay for this and all that. And lastly, he bought the competing team in LA after he was fired from the team for drug use. And he bought it and hired Jay, who is Isla's love interest. We'll get into that in a minute. But he hired Jay for the competing team's head coach, knowing that, he was with Isla. So my character prediction was like kind of right for Cam. It was obvious in the beginning. That's why. So moving on to Isla, my prediction for her was that she had a lot to juggle with work and personal life. She had feelings. She has feelings for Jay, and she might fall out with Allie, her best friend. So what really happened was she had to go through hoops in the season, all throughout the season. She did kind of fall out with Ali because Ali, she moved to Canada to work for another team. She had issues in her personal life, so I was right about that. She ended up calling her wedding off because she just didn't see marrying the doctor and her feelings. Like, actually, she didn't see herself marrying the doctor because she had feelings for Jay. And then she called her wedding off the day before. That was awful. Like they had the or not the graduation. They had the rehearsal dinner and everything, and you could just tell by her face she just wasn't for it. And she ended up that night telling the doctor that, hey, this isn't for us, and she called the wedding off. And then after that, that's when she started dating Jay. And yeah, and then the season went on with her winning the title, or getting to the playoffs and winning the title. So I was kind of right on that too. For Isla, Jackie is again the half brother, the younger half brother. Jackie, what I predicted was that he would have more popularity with the team. Last season, he did kind of have like a rock star lifestyle, and he ended up contracting like chlamydia or gonorrhea or one of them. So I thought that that was going to continue, and he might have issues with his girlfriend Sophia, who is a dancer on the team. And what actually happened was he was still dating Sophia. He was being used by his older brother for urine, and in the end, what happened was that he exposed Cam by recording him, and him admitting to Cam using Jackie's urine. And also, he decided to go to Europe to scout for the basketball team. He was deciding to go to Europe or to go to Washington, D.C. with Sophia because she had a like an internship or something, but he decided to go to Europe. Sandy. So for Sandy, I predicted that he might still have money worry on how much the team is spending. And yeah, he's basically being a cheapskate this season. And what actually happened was that, yes, he was still cheap, but his storyline was that he broke up with his longtime boyfriend, Charlie, because of reality TV. And after that, he started dating one of the basketball stars, Charlie White. And he was also holding the secret of Cam's embezzlement with the money to pay for his rehab. So he did have a storyline of his personal life as well as keeping the secret of the embezzlement that Cam had committed. Ness is also one of the brothers. I predicted that he might be mostly against Isla's decisions as general manager, but he helped make Isla stay with the team. I don't think Ness had like a big storyline this season, but he was in the background with the other Gordon family members. For Coach Jay Brown, I predicted that he might come back to confess love for Isla before her wedding, and there might be an LA versus Boston beef. The reason why I predicted that because it's in history. Like, there's always been an LA versus Boston beef, LA Lakers versus Boston Celtics. It goes way back to like the 60s or the 50s. So, yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the 60s because the Lakers was founded in 1960. So, and I was right. So he did confess his feelings for Isla. It started with him giving her his ring to wear for her wedding. That never happened. And he called it something borrowed. And, after Isla called off the wedding, they started having a relationship. And Isla decided, because the both teams were in the finals, she said, we can't talk about, we can't, do their thing during the playoffs. And so they said, okay, fine. And what happened was they, the Waves won the playoffs, and it was kind of like an awkward situation between them. And what happened at the end of the season was that Cam went and bought a team and hired Jay as their head coach, the competing team for LA, and in a way that portrayed Isla. So I was like, dang, that's really messed up. You hire your sister's partner or boyfriend to work for the competing team, and I think that was kind of strategic. I think next season, because it is renewed for another season, they're gonna show like more portrayal in the Gordon family. Len Levinson, who is the ex fiance to Isla, I did predict that he might get left at the altar. I meant he was gonna get left at the altar at the wedding. She was gonna be a runaway bride, but actually they split the night before, him and Isla, and he ended up calling her a horrible person, which really did affect Isla. And she took the time to really sit back and, just reflect on it and make some changes to her life. Allie, who is Brenda Song's character, I predicted that she might fall out with Isla over her asking for a raise, and she'll leave the organization. Because in the beginning, Allie went to Isla, was like, I've done this, that, and the third. I need a raise, and Isla was like, okay, let me talk to Sandy, and then Sandy said we can't do it because of money reasons and all that stuff. So Allie actually did leave, and she went to Canada, and she came back to LA because she didn't like Canada. It was too cold, and she started missing her friends. So that was her backstory for the season. Sophia, who is Jackie's girlfriend, my prediction was that she wanted to step things up for with Jackie. What I meant by that was like she was probably wanting to move in with him, get a house together or something, because Jackie was making a little bit more money. But what happened with Sophia is that she actually ended up exposing the working conditions of the wave dancers, and that had helped the wave dancers get like better sponsorships with Sephora and a better locker room and stuff like that. Let's see. Tommy White. Tommy White is one of the basketball stars. I predicted that he was going to take over as Travis's replacement. They were going to probably trade Travis away. But what happened was Tommy actually started dating Sandy, and it affected his game. And once, they kind of split up, the game did get better. But yeah, Tommy White was distracted by Sandy. Let's see what else here. Diane, who is Sophia's lawyer, she helped Sophia with a lawsuit, and they ended up winning a better space for the Waves dancer. So that was connected with Sophia's character. Travis Bagg, who is the Chet Hanks character. My prediction for Chet Hanks' character was that he might be sober now, but he had a girlfriend named Zoe. And, Zoe was kind of like being flirtatious with Dyson. And I was thinking that once he finds out about what she was doing, he might relapse. But he did date those Zoe. It was very, very brief. It was probably like an episode long. But then he started dating Brielle, who was a WNBA player. And he was more so this season a benched player. But yeah, his backstory focused on mostly his relationship with Brielle. Marcus Winfield. Marcus was like the veteran of the team. So my prediction for Marcus was that he was going to warn Dyson about Zoe and will get caught in the middle of drama, probably some back and forth between the two players, and he would probably like break up a fight or so. But what actually happened was that he was a little bit of a diva this season. He had a problem with the new coach. He was like kind of anti the new coach until like the end where they did come together. He almost had a near death experience, a couple near death experiences. And also, it was revealed that he was on the team for 16 years. So, at the end, when they were celebrating, he injured his knee and he decided to retire. Leroy, the sober companion, who I did mention before, is Cam's like accountability sober companion. So, my prediction for Leroy was that he's really a drug dealer and might get caught up in with drugs and bust Camp's plan. But Leroy had a small role. He was basically like his enabler, his low key enabler of cocaine. And let's see. Zoe, who was like this starlet actress, like as a actress influencer. So my prediction for her was that she didn't really like Travis. She wasn't really feeling Travis. I thought she was with Travis for like the stardom and money, and she really wanted to get with Dyson, which she did. She did leave Travis behind and started dating Dyson, but their relationship wasn't like It wasn't going to last long because she actually had to go abroad to film a movie, and it made like Dyson like really really sad, and it kind of affected his game, like Tommy White's did with Sandy. But yeah, so she's technically Dyson's girlfriend. Norm Benson, who is Ray Romano's character. What I predicted for Norm was that he would be a great coach, but he would have had drama in the front office. So probably I thought every episode they were going to complain about Norm. Norm did this, Norm did that. Should we fire Norm? Norm. But he revealed that, he talked about his dead wife and how he was depressed, and that's why he stopped coaching in Detroit. But he ultimately signed on with the team and helped them, get a championship for the Waves. Let's see. Dyson Gibbs. So he would steal Zoe from Travis and might flaunt a huge contract, a rags to riches story, which did happen. He did have a big contract, which kind of helped them, like, well, not helped them, had them, like, have a holdout with money for his contract. So I was pretty much right with Dyson. Clint. So when I saw Clint from the Canada basketball team, I thought he was going to advise Dyson to do the wrong thing and sign with them, but actually he was there for Allie, and he recruited Allie to come work in Canada for like an episode or two, so that's why he was in LA. Charlie, who is Sandy's boyfriend, let's see. I thought, Charlie was going to become an actor and kind of like bypass Sandy in success, and he would like become very big headed, which he did, but he didn't like turn into an actor, like a professional actor. He went on reality TV, and Sandy had an issue with them filming in the house. So that's like the part where Lisa Rinna, she had like a cameo and appearance and stuff, and that's when like the end of their relationship came. Is when he just got mad because he didn't want Charlie or anybody filming in the house because he would come home from like a long day of work and he would be exhausted. And I get it, like you come home, you work all day, you work like an 8 to 10 hour shift, you want peace in your house, you don't want all these people in your house. I get it. So that's why they split up, and that's when Sandy started dating Tommy White. Al, who is the season ticket holder, they mentioned a lot in the throughout the season, and then we actually met him mid-season. My prediction was that he might give up his season tickets. For what reason? It could have been any reason, but he would give up the season tickets. He ended up trying to buy the team, but Isla, she had a change of heart with her morals, and that's when Al ended up buying the rival LA team and hired Jay as the coach. Cousin Benny. Cousin Benny, I thought he was gonna be like a background character for the family, but he actually helped them in the episode where the Gordons had to play against the McShays. And the thing was, if I don't know if you guys noticed, Cousin Benny was leaving Isla's living room one night. I think it was after the game or after like the rehearsal party, and he took a picture with his phone. And one of the things I put as my dislike was like, what is he gonna do with those pictures? It was a picture of Coach Jay and Isla. Like, what is he gonna do with like those pictures? Is he gonna leak them? Like, what's gonna happen in the next season? And lastly, Brielle. Brielle is the girlfriend of Chet Hanks' character Travis. I thought that she did date Travis, so I was right about that, and she was gonna give hell to any and every character. But let's see. So she did date Travis. They actually both had a lot in common, and she was proposed a threesome at the end of the season. At the end of the season during the finals. So I guess she didn't really give a lot of torture to people, but she was proposed a threesome. So let's see. Overall, I did enjoy this season. Everybody got like individual storylines, a lot of time on their storylines. It wasn't rushed. And I also loved the twists and the turns, Isla calling off her wedding, getting with Jay and things like that, and also the celebrity cameos. See Lisa Renna, and then there was like Jake from State Farm. So things like that. Now, what did I like and dislike? Even though I do give this season a 5 out of 5 and it is renewed for season 3. Let's see. So, what did I like? The Hills reference with Jackie and Isla, where she told Jackie, "You don't want to be the girl who didn't go to Paris." If you guys watch The Hills, where Lauren Conrad was working for, I forgot her name, but I know her last name is like Marone or something. And she told Lauren that you will always be known as the girl who didn't go to Paris because she went and spent the summer chasing her boyfriend. I think it was, I want to say Stephen Coletti she was chasing after. I don't know. But yeah, The Hills reference. I like watching The Hills. I don't like the last season of The Hills where What's Her Face came on, but I like the original Hills. Jeannie Buss and Linda Rambis is executive producer of the show. So Jeannie Buss is like the one of like the head honchos over at the Lakers. Her father bought the Lakers back in like the 70s, late 70s. And Linda Rambis is the wife of Kurt Rambis, who used to play for the Lakers back in the day. Easily reintroduced characters. Like I said, the first season reintroduced their storylines. Written by Mindy Kaling, who's very, very, very talented. There was more characters this season. So last season started with the Gordon family and their immediate circle, but now it's extended. Again, Lisa Renna and Jake from State Farm was on there. And they actually had their own advertising commercials. They had like a really nice Lexus commercials. And what I didn't like, obviously, they didn't explain what Cousin Benny was going to do with the photos. The cliffhanger, which was crazy, with us finding out that Jay signed with the rival team. And lastly, what's going to happen with Sandy because he was caught up in the embezzlement. And, he could have gotten a lot of trouble with that. But yeah, that is the review for Running Point. Season 1 and 2 is on Netflix. And I hope you enjoy this review. Peace.